I fully understand why people move back to their home countries like Nigeria and Ghana later on, bro, to retire there.
Why do you think that many Africans and even white people are opting to come back to Africa and build and also stay in Africa? Why do you think so, guys? In today's video, I want us to watch what people are saying about Africans moving back to Africa, Black Americans moving back to Africa, white people, relocating. And then I'll be back and do an analysis, basically.
I fully understand why people move back to their home countries like Nigeria and Ghana later on, bro, to retire there. Because living in the UK or even in Europe is just there for the hustle. Then you use all that money to build your mansion back home and you go there to live like a king.
This man has tasted life in both Europe and Africa, and now he boldly says life in Africa is far better than Europe. And his reasons will shock you. Listen to him.
Guys, life is a in Europe. Life is not what you think it is in Europe. And your brothers and sisters that are here now will not tell you that because they are really ashamed. I lived 14 years in Tanzania. 14 years. Life is better. There's so much opportunity in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya. All my brothers and sisters there, trust me, if you work hard, you graft hard, your life is much better. You want to know what's happening here in Europe when you come here? I'll give you my breakdown, okay?
Now this is where it gets interesting. He actually breaks down why he said Africa is better. And surprisingly, a lot of people agree with him. Let's pay attention now.
My flat, my tiny flat, 1,400 euros a month. My energy bill, 250 euros a month. My gas bill, 100 euros a month. My car license, my car insurance, 45 euros. My mobile phone, 50 euros. My TV, 40 euros. My local government tax, 160 euros a month. My list goes on. At the end of the month, I spent 3,000 euros only bills. So if you earn your 400 euros in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Congo, you're way better off. And you have fucking freedom and a beautiful country. I want to quit in Europe. The only good thing here is my kids' education. That's it. So please stop asking me for jobs and from Africa. Life is not what you think it is.
Yo,
What?
have you noticed a lot of black people are moving to the continent?
We've been noticing, we've been hearing, in the streets, a lot of, yo, my man, what's up, man, yo, man. But we just thought brothers and sisters are visiting. What's going on?
And I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that people are realizing, especially in America, that we have other options.
Correct. You do have options, my brother. You can have barbecue and braai. Same time. Same time. You will not be subjected to a life of checks. Yes, it is. No, EFTs. EFT. You will never see an envelope anymore at the ATM. No envelopes. No envelopes. Do you understand? You will not see fax machine ever, 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 ever. All right. So yes, I agree with you.
What's funny is that a lot of my friends from Africa want to move to the States. They're like, oh my God, I wish I lived in America. Why would you want to move here?
Oh, my brother, our own, they don't know. Don't blame them. Shame, they don't know. They think life in America it's Schwarzenegger. They think it's Rambo. All right, they think it is days of our lives, the bold and the beautiful. They don't understand that a person can work 2 or 3 jobs in a day. We shall pray for them.
But with inflation and all the things that we're dealing with in the States, I think slowly but surely people are realizing that it's not really the dream that they market it to be.
Yes, that statement. That you see what you just said right now, it's power. Because that's really what has been, that's where the danger has been, the dream, the marketing, the PR. Shame. It nearly got us. It nearly got all of us.
Which is part of the reason why I think they want to get rid of TikTok. Like, people barely use Google. This is our search engine.
Yeah, yeah. I get you, because now they have to explain to the people how come most Africans, when they do their videos, there's no lion walking behind us, there's no elephant calling our names. Now they have to explain, because
And so, with all the resources we have now, I think a lot of people are going to be moving to the continent and seeking a better life, especially with this being an election year. It's going to be interesting to see how many people go.
oh, my brother, we are ready. Listen, we are ready. We forget everything. Just, guys, please let us know how you guys are going to come, so that we should prepare. Do you understand? There's a lot of parties that we need to do. For what? Welcome back home. Do you understand? We need to figure out, we need to budget. Do you understand? We need to budget who's buying chickens, who's buying the cow. Do you understand? Who's buying the goat? You know, who's doing the vegetables? The mothers, they need to, peel the vegetables. It's really, it's a celebration for us. We just let us know, so that we should know who's doing what. Do you understand? Who's bringing, we should also organize like the aprons, our uniform, to welcome you guys back, because no, it's a bit too much for you guys. It's a bit too much.
Let us stay in Africa and build Africa. I mean, what does Africa lack in terms of resources? What do we lack? If it is solar energy, which continent is capable of producing solar energy to light this continent and the entire earth? If it is hydroelectricity, what can we not generate? If it is minerals, if we wanted to make bombs, if we should, where do they get their uranium from? If it is timber, what don't we have? If it is human resources, we are 2 billion of us, and we are people who have intelligence, and yet we are kept in a constant state of conflict. The Europeans, the French, persuading their former colonies that they are more French than they are Yoruba. They are more French than they are Wolofs and Mandinkas. The British persuading us that we are more British than we are Ibibio or Yoruba. And of course, when we find ourselves in that schizophrenic state, then we engage in internal conflict and they sell their arms to us. Tell me, which African country makes guns? None.
Is Kenya truly paradise on earth? It really is. It's so insanely cheap. You know, if you want to get married, it's a good Christian country for that. Kenya is a fine country. Like, people think Africa and they start shaking out of fear. Shida, I'm speaking to white people here, no problem. There's no issue. Like, in other places in Africa, I know a Danish man, he went to Ghana. Like, you can live in these African places without any problem. There's nothing but peace and prosperity and abundance. And there's lots of things you can do. Lots of business. Many great things. The rumors that it's just everything doesn't work and things are not good in Africa, it's true partially, but the thing is, things work, right? Things work and you can do business, you can do many things. As long as you contribute to that society, it's also peaceful, by the way. Some people think areas are dangerous. Yeah, maybe the slum. I've even been in the slums, nothing happened. I'm fine. But I wouldn't recommend living in the Kenyan slums. But, like, you can live so cheap in nice places and it's easy. And the only places that are dangerous to live is the places with war. There's no war. I walk here, I say hello, they say hello. People sell fruit on the street. You can buy nice food, you can just... Right, that's just what I'm trying to say is, like... It's really... Life is super easy if you have kidogo and pesa. You just need a little bit. And I know Kenyans always think Wazungu have unlimited money. But what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to speak to the white people out there, like... You could come to Kenya and live a very peaceful life, and it will not be raining spiritually or physically on your face, okay? It's a nice place.
They don't show the beautiful picture of Johannesburg on the media. They don't show a beautiful picture of Cape Town on the media. Durban, I've never seen anything beautiful about Durban. When people show things in the media, they're always shown in the negative light. When something about Africa is talked about, it's normally bad. It's normally violent. It's normally something about the country or a disease broke, and it's never good. So your perception is what people have forced you to believe. So until you get the heart to go, I'm going, I want to see for myself, you don't know. So all I know is what the news says. So in my mind, I'm like, hey man, I'm not trying to go over there and get kidnapped. I'm saying from what I've seen. And then I go and I see an amazing city. We're blown away. Why not show us the amazing stuff that's over here? So when we get here, we see for ourselves, and then our senses are enhanced to where not only do we want to come back, but we want to come back and we want to be involved with things that you have going on. But until we get the heart as artists and we spread that rumor ourselves, we don't know.
I'd recommend everybody go to Africa.
Beautiful place.
It's the birthplace of mankind.
That's right.
But for African Americans, I think it's even more special. To wake up and not have to be conscious that you're black.
Yeah.
Just to be able to wake up and walk outside and you just yourself today.
Yeah.
You don't have to filter that in. There's not a day that I can wake up over here that I don't have to filter that in. I have to factor that in.
Yeah.
When I'm driving, when I'm being pulled over, when I'm hailing a cab, when I'm you got to filter that in. It was such a rewarding thing.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Look, to wake up and not be a minority.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is. If you've never had to deal with that, congratulations. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
But to wake up and not be a minority,
Yeah.
I didn't know what that felt like. I said, man, I got to get a house over here.
Yeah.
Guys, some time back, I watched this clip of a young man not really like so young, but middle-aged man in Nairobi. He had gotten a lucrative job. He was actually an engineer. He had gotten a lucrative job in America, and everything was being catered for. It's only for him to avail himself to the airport and go to America and start working. But we were shocked because this guy said that he was not going to go to America. He is staying back to build Africa. It was shocking, of course. But guys, the internet did explode. It sparked outrageously, I will say. This story is not just about the decision that this man took. It's also about how the Americans reacted. And not this story only, so many other stories of people living in America for like 30 years, 40, and then relocating back. So Americans, both black and white, they reacted. I mean, the internet was filled with confusion. Some were impressed, some were not, some were offended, and this whole reaction tells a much bigger story. So why do you think that someone in a third world country would agree to stay back in Africa, to build Africa? Yet he would have gone to the land of opportunities, make some dollars and come back later probably if he wants. Guys, when Americans see young Africans, probably doctors, software engineers, leaders, software developers, farmers, entrepreneurs, when they see them choosing to stay and build Africa, their first reaction will be shock, disbelief. I mean, they can't believe, because most Africans or most people from third world countries, they always want to experience the American dream. When they see people that go to America, it doesn't take like even a year before they buy a car. Actually, having a car in developed countries is considered a basic need, but here it's luxury. So, of course, when you hear about Africa, you get to know about, people that are struggling, wasting a lot of time, idleness, and all that. So, all this, I will say, they are just assumptions in short. People have been fed this narrative of Africa in poverty. People living in bushes, everybody living in a hut, and then spending your time with the lions. Just crazy narrative for so many years has been pushed in America. This interesting story that just happened explains why Africans are choosing to stay and build in Africa. So, when Africans say that they're choosing to stay and build in Africa, they are talking about building companies, expanding agribusiness, creating film, fashion, music, and tech industries, owning land and not renting, and being the decision makers. They've always been the minorities in other people's ecosystem. So some Africans deciding to build in Africa and stay in Africa because they can get the peace of mind, and then there is no hurry in Africa. Your bills, you just find a way. You can pay it by the end of the month. You can even talk to the owner of the suppliers of probably electricity, water. But I guess in America, there is no negotiation, and most of the actually items that are being used in the house, like the gas, the water, they come in as tokens. You pay when it's finished, you pay again, something like that. So what is happening actually? Americans are not just surprised, they are uncomfortable with this story actually, because Africans are choosing to stay and build in Africa. Because on the other hand, Americans are suffering. They cannot afford the houses that are in many cities in America. They are unaffordable. Student debt is crushing the youths of America. The health cost is high. Job security also 50-50. In fact, so many companies have laid off workers. So when an African says that they are better off at home, it actually challenges long-held belief that the West is the final destination and that success only has one address, and that doesn't really sit well with them. So many Americans are shocked, of course, but you have these few ones that are genuine about what is happening. For them, they believe that what Africans are doing, it's all about national pride. They are proud of where they come from. And of course, some are not happy. Africans staying and building in Africa means a lot. You're proud of, this is mine, I belong here. And if you don't build Africa, who will at the end of the day? So the sense of ownership also resonates really well with this story. So my good people, choosing Africa does not mean that we are rejecting America. And it doesn't mean that, honestly. Africans are not saying that migration is wrong. They are saying that choices matter. So for the first time in a very long time, in decades, staying is becoming a decision, not a limitation. And Americans are watching all this unfold. So what's the bigger picture with this story? Americans' reaction is not just about Africans staying at home. It's about changing global balance, a generation rewriting success, and a continent that no longer asks for permission to rise. Building Africa is no longer a theory, it's happening, it's a reality. I think the real question here should be, why are Africans choosing to stay? Anyway, I don't know what you think about that. So Africans, from what we just said, they are choosing to stay and build in Africa because of affordability, love, peace, socialism, something like that. People that, you see, when Speed came to Africa, he received a lot of love, more than any other place that he has ever live streamed. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next video.